Good morning and welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM, Utah's Big Talker. We're here every Saturday and Sunday morning at 10 a.m. to bring you the timely truths about real estate and finance. Our goal is to help you save money, invest those savings, and make money on those investments. If you haven't visited us yet on Facebook, check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Womack Radio. Womack is WOMACK. We've got a very special show planned for you today. We've got two small business owners here in Salt Lake City, Utah. We've got Mike Law with Saturday's Waffle and Pat Crowley with Chapul. We're so grateful that you've tuned in today. If you missed our show last week, you can see it on our Facebook page. We had Brian Jessup, a local excavator, and Brian Porter, a local garage door and all types of doors and fencing expert. Our first guest is Mike Law. Mike, it's so great to have you on the show today. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, well, thanks for having me.
Mike's a longtime friend of mine. We've known each other for a while. We both live in the Sugar House area. Mike's a local Utah guy. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Mike.
Like you said, you're right. I am from Utah. Grew up in a little town to the south of Salt Lake.
We won't hold that against you.
Thank you.
Utah
that.
County?
Yeah, Utah County.
Oh man.
Yeah. I went to BYU, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, and my wife and I were married in 2001, and we moved up here, and we've been here ever since. We love it here. We love the city, love the vibe. And we've kind of made it our home. So
which one do you like more, Utah County or Salt Lake County?
I guess they had a season for each, but right now we definitely love Salt Lake.
There's a lot to love about Salt Lake, especially the food.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mike runs a local food truck, and the theme of today's show is small business, the importance of small business, and how small business is important to the Utah economy. Mike runs a local food truck, and tell me the name of the food truck and maybe a little bit about the history of it.
The name of the food truck is called Saturday's Waffle. Me and a friend, mutual friend, Richard Larson, started it we started the idea about 3 years ago.
You guys got a truck, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically it was, we were both, dads and family guys and working 8 to 5, and we kind of wanted a little bit of an outlet for the creative side of each other, and kind of messed around with the idea of what we would, because both of us had always dreamed of opening a restaurant. We thought it would be really cool to do that because he had worked in food when he was younger, and I was a waiter all through my college years and had liked that kind of atmosphere and that the joy that comes to people from having a unique experience with food. So in trying to figure out what we wanted to do, we kind of thought, well, we don't want to kind of just leave our lives and go full bore into a restaurant world, which can be very risky as far as an investment.
Lots of money in and not always a huge return to start off with.
Well, and it's not always guaranteed that the idea is going to fly or anything like that. I think that the statistics are horrible. It's like of the startups that are restaurants, 95% of them, excuse me.
Yeah, you've already got a small percentage of small businesses, and then small business restaurants is even a little bit more.
The statistics are grim. So we decided, well, let's do something on our day off. So we decided we'd open up for Saturday breakfast, because who doesn't love to grab breakfast on a Saturday? And we had, through travels around the globe, I honed in on this one waffle that I had in Japan, of all places. It's called a Liège waffle. It's a dough-based waffle rather than your batter-based waffle that everyone is kind of familiar with. And I guess the main ingredient that is different is during the last rising process, we put in what is called Belgian pearl sugar, which is exactly what it sounds like. Small nuggets of sugar that kind of coat the top of the waffle, give it a kind of caramelized, crunchy effect. And then as you're biting through it, you get these bursts of sweetness. And then where we've kind of made a name for ourselves is we take that sweet waffle and then we put unique and kind of out of the box type toppings on top of it. Our most popular is called the Benny. It's a soft egg, hollandaise sauce, and bacon on top of that sweet waffle.
Everybody loves bacon.
Everyone loves bacon.
Can't go wrong with that. So you've got the sweet little pearl chunks that are amazing, and then you put some savory stuff on top of it, which can make it really good.
Yeah, and that mixture just kind of resonates with people.
Yeah, I remember when you were first starting it a couple years ago, you came to my house one night, 9 or 10 o'clock, and you said, hey, you got to try these waffles. And I tried a couple different varieties that Mike had and was really impressed and said, hey, I think you got a winner here. And they've been taking off ever since. They tell me, where's your location again?
So we are located at the parking lot of the Olympus Hills Shopping Plaza. It's on 3900 South About and Wasatch Boulevard, which is about 3500 East. It's right off the 215. You'll be able to see us if you come looking for us. So right there in the Dan's parking lot every Saturday, 8 to 2 for brunch and lunchy type items. We do chicken and waffles from 10 to 2, which are excellent. And then from 5 to 9, for dessert options.
Oh, 5 to 9.
Yes.
Oh, that's a new addition.
Yeah. And in the past month, we'd kind of started doing that.
Wow. And then you recently added chicken too.
Yeah.
How's that been?
It's good. It's really good. If you want a unique kind of, authentically Southern type of a food, it's really good. The waffle that we use for that is not the Liège waffle. It's actually a buttermilk and cornmeal waffle that is, and to give it a little bit of a kick, we suggest that you get our jalapeno infused maple syrup to put on top of that.
Wow.
And then have it with the chicken. It's a very good experience.
If you haven't met Mike Law before, you need to come meet him. He's always sharply dressed, on the top edge of fashion and top edge of food as well, and combining different flavors together and giving your mouth a ride. But we got to take a break right now. This is Mike Law with Saturday's Waffle. This is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM, Utah's Big Talker. Welcome back. This is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM, Utah's Big Talker. We are your local advocates for real estate and finance. We've got a special show for you today. The theme of the show today is small business here in Utah. We've got two great small business owners. Before the break, we were talking with Mike Law with Saturday's Waffle.
Hello.
He's one of the two owners of Saturday's Waffle. Both are good friends of mine, Richard Larson and Mike Law. And speaking a little bit of fashion, you guys have a little fashion twist on your Saturday's Waffle. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's right. I think that with any kind of small business, presentation counts for quite a bit. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, your product has to be good, but when a customer can see that you have taken care to attend to the details, I always think that it goes a long way. So we call ourselves the guys in bow ties. We every day, whether it's 96 degrees or 7 degrees outside, when we are at the trailer, all of us, and sometimes there's 5 or 6 of us in that little thing, all of us are decked out in bow ties and matching baseball caps. So
always looking sharp.
Yeah.
Like I said, Mike Law is the man of design, sharply dressed, makes amazing food. If you haven't been by, it's Olympus Hills Shopping Center over by the Dan Shopping Market right off the 215. And that's roughly 39th South, right?
Yeah, and 3900 South on Wasatch Boulevard.
And if you've never gone before on a Saturday morning, it's packed. The food's amazing. There's always tons of people there, and you're in for a treat if you haven't had it before. We also have a free lunch giveaway coming up later in the show, 2 Saturday's Waffles, so that you can go and try it. Again, this is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM. We've got Mike Law here with us. So you've got a small business. You were an 8-to-5er before, kind of wanted to get out of the rat race. I think you worked for a law firm and doing collections and things like that. And, Out of all the restaurant and food choices, what made you land on waffles and eventually chicken?
Well, I kind of the whole way it rolled out. I mean, trying to find something that we could do on a 1 day a week basis, that might resonate with people. Again, I know my family and I, when I didn't have something to do on a Saturday anymore, we love to go out and try new places for breakfast. It was just a fun way. You kind of wake up lazily and then you go have someone else fix you breakfast, and we'd love to find the little nuggets in the city that offered that. And
what are some of your other before you had time, when you had time on Saturdays, what were some of the other places you'd like to go for brunch?
They're definitely kind of centered around downtown, but Eggs in the City on 13th South and about 15th East. No, I guess it would be 17th East. Then there's Finn's, which is on Highland at about 17th. The original Pancake House.
Oh man, that place is,
yeah.
You can order, 2 people can have 1 meal there. Their
Absolutely.
servings are huge.
Over the counter, that's kind of over on 33rd South and 23rd East. That's a really good place to eat as well. So again, and we thought that would be a great thing. And at the time, I didn't even know about Bruges, which exists downtown, which also sells Liège waffles. But I had been to Japan, been in that train station in Kyoto, and had this waffle, and thought, why have I never tasted this in the States? It is so good.
So you had a Liège waffle in Japan.
Yeah, they're kind of Francophiles over there in Japan. They love anything French, and Belgium close enough. Uh-huh. I had that there, and then just said, man, I would really love to find a place where I could get one of these in the States. And then just kind of put it in that folder of things in your head where you're like, yeah, I should follow up on that sometime. And then when this opportunity came around, I just said, when we were trying to figure out what it was we were going to serve, and we kind of honed in on waffles, I said, I know the waffle. And then just kind of did my research, found out what kind of waffle it was, and then, did research some more and found out, some recipes for it. Found the one that I liked and tweaked it a little bit, and the rest,
the rest is waffle history.
That's correct.
So when my wife and I first moved here in 2007, Mike kind of took us under his wing and showed us the ropes of Salt Lake City, told us all the greatest places to eat, and he has an amazing taste for food and fashion, and he knows his stuff.
Thank you.
So, not to badmouth the competition or anything, but why is yours better than the other waffles out there?
Yeah, well, again, there's a couple of them now. It's definitely an in thing, waffles. It kind of like
waffles and food trucks.
That's true. It's true. But it seems like the waffles are simple enough that it's easy to serve out of a truck. And what makes us different is the complexity of our menu. And I'm not saying that we're, foraging for dandelion leaves and then, sprinkling saffron over it or something.
Like the forage.
Yeah. That's true. That's another place. But no, the other, businesses that are choosing to do this, and there are a couple, they're sticking to very traditional ways of serving the waffle. If you go to Europe and to Belgium and you have this as street food, you either eat it plain or there are a few things that you put on it, like Nutella, speculoos, which is a European cookie spread. You can get it in several different variations. Bischoff, Trader Joe's has one called cookie butter, and then whipped cream, and then fruit. And the other businesses that do the Liège waffle, that is what they stick to. What makes us different is that we kind of go crazy. We have.
Would you say it's Americanized?
I don't know.
Just
Americanized?
Just better.
Better.
Because you got bacon.
That's true.
So that's good.
It's not. Yeah, we do have bacon on a couple. Again, a couple of our most popular one are the Benny, like I already told you, Urban Lumberjack, which is our version of biscuits and gravy. It's a mild Italian sausage in a rosemary gravy over the top of the waffle.
With the sugar clumps in there.
That's
awesome.
And we also do a caprese salad on top of the waffle. We do a special of the month. So like we have a couple, about 7 or 8 specialties that stay on the menu always, and then we offer a special of the month. And currently ours is one that has pears in it, a cinnamon creme fraiche, so that is whipped cream that's been beaten very stiff, so we kind of just spoon it out, and then honey and gorgonzola cheese over the top of it. And I know it sounds weird, but it really, really tastes good. And so that's the difference. And, is that we just we don't want to just do berries. And I think that each of those businesses that do, Liège waffles, they do what they do very well. And I'm not trying to badmouth them at all, but,
you've just got a different spin, different direction
yeah,
to it.
Different space in the whole market, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM, Utah's Big Talker. I'm also a small business owner here in Salt Lake City. I'm the owner of Vintage Lending and Realty. We love small business. We support small business here in Utah, and we want them always to succeed and do well. If you have any questions, if you're thinking about doing a small business or have any questions about small business, give me a call anytime at 801-674-9995. I help small business owners get into homes and get home loans. And if you'd like to talk about small business, what I did to start up, or we can get in touch with Mike Law. He might be able to share some on the restaurant space of small business. Call us anytime, again, at 801-674-9995. We love small business here in Utah. Again, our goal is to help you save money, invest those savings, and make money on your investments. We're all about getting you in a better financial place. So, Mike Law, tell me about your trailer, how you got it, and kind of the process to get that up and ready for the market.
Yeah, when we were thinking about it, there was really only one food truck to speak of, and that was the Chow Truck, which, she's an institution now. She does Asian and street taco fusion. It's kind of really cool, good stuff. I would recommend going and trying her out if you ever.
Does she have a couple trucks now?
She just has one.
One truck.
Yeah,
okay.
one. But she does what she does extraordinarily well, and it's very. It's pretty. She wanted to grow, she could, but I'm sure that she just is focused on food and giving people a good experience that way. But we had kind of kicked around a couple of things. I had heard of in other kind of metropolitan areas where there would be these things called flash restaurants, where in a random space, maybe a mezzanine of a business, a business high rise, or a coffee shop, even a chef or someone would kind of set up shop and make food for a crowd. And
like a flash mob.
Yeah, kind of flash mob for food. And we thought that would kind of be fun. But, with ordinances as they are such right now, they've only recently kind of defined what a food truck is in Salt Lake City. So, that it just wasn't going to work, and it would be a really hard thing to market. We thought of a cart, like a taco cart, in maybe the Sugar House area, and then finally settled on the idea, food trucks are a big thing. A food truck itself is rather an expensive investment. They can run anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000 just to get the shell and then a few things.
Customize the kitchen.
Yeah,
inside.
yeah. So we thought, well, what about a trailer? And when we were thinking trailers, we wanted to do something kind of with a little bit of a cachet and a retro feel to it. So we started looking for vintage trailers. And the game warden in Richfield, of all places, Richfield, Utah, about 3 hours to the south of here, just happened to be selling a vintage Shasta canned ham aluminum trailer. And if you don't know what a canned ham, imagine that shape that a ham comes in those tin cans, if you want to call them that, and then but just kind of an aluminum siding looking thing. A lot of people confuse them with the Airstream, which are very popular. They're more bullet shaped and very shiny. These are a little more flat in their kind of brilliance, but they're sheen, yeah. But it's still cool feel. We gave him a call and he said, "Well, I've got 6 offers. The first one that gets down here tomorrow morning gets it." So we just woke up extremely early and drove down to Richfield and stuck on the back of Richard's truck, and we got it up here.
And that's where it all started, right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
How long did it take you guys to remodel it?
We were working on that for well over a year. I mean, it was just kind of in our spare time when we could. And
were you selling waffles before you had the trailer ready?
No. We got a gig at the Energy Solutions Arena of all places.
For New Skin, right?
Yeah, for New Skin. And so it was kind of one of those things. It has unfortunately been that it's kind of the way we've operated since then. We get some date where we have to be ready for something, whether it be an improvement or at that point it was just being up and going. We have to be done by this time for this event, and that's what caused us to all of a sudden be able to finish everything.
Deadlines add a little stress to our lives,
yeah, it's
but
right.
they can also get the job
done.
They
motivate us.
Make us shoot for a date and make things happen.
Yeah.
But it's so great to have you on the show, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
It's been
coming
a lot
on.
of fun.
Yeah. If you haven't been, again, it's Saturday's Waffle, Saturday morning, and then Saturday evening for dessert.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a variety of different waffles. They've got chicken and waffles, and then desserts in the evenings. They have an occult-like following. If you haven't been there, there's just tons of people that are in love with these waffles. How many Facebook likes or friends do you have on Saturday's Waffle?
We're about 2,000.
Wow.
So, and we feel that we haven't bought any of them. So, I mean, we feel that as a source of pride.
Yeah, that's awesome. If you haven't had it, again, you've got to try Saturday's Waffle. They're off the 215 and 3900 South. We have a free lunch coming up later in the show to Saturday's Waffle, and good friends of mine support a local business and have some great food at the same time. Again, this is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM, Utah's Big Talker.
The sky was red, fire on the mountain, she said. Well, I'm not the one who burned.
Welcome back. This is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM, Utah's Big Talker. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're here every Saturday and Sunday morning at 10 a.m. We are your local advocates for real estate and finance. The theme of today's show is small business here in Utah. Earlier on the show, we had Mike Law with Saturday's Waffle, a local food truck owner. And right now, I'm excited to have Pat Crowley on the show from Chapul. Pat, it's great to have you on the show today.
Yeah, thank you. Great to be here, Clint.
So, Pat, I'm really curious about your recent Shark Tank deal. Tell me a little bit about your Shark Tank experience.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was completely unique to anything I had done before. That was actually my first conversation with investors was under the lights and camera. So it was all new to me, but it was a great experience, a lot of fun, and yeah, certainly an exciting way to do that.
That's not a live show, is it?
It is, yeah.
Oh, it is. So you go on or you record live, and then do they edit it and cut it, or is it just straight how it was when you were on there?
Yeah, I guess it's not necessarily live. We filmed it in September for the March airing, but there's no takes. That's what I mean by live, I guess. But I was doing a question and answer with them for about an hour or so, and then they edited it down to about 10 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Shark Tank. I got a kick out of that, and then when I saw that you were from Utah, I said, "Oh, I got to get him on the show." Who'd you end up making a deal with?
We did a deal with Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban, how's he been to work with?
Phenomenal. Yeah, he has quite a few companies now, and so he's hired a full team to assist all of his companies in his portfolio. So it's more of a incubator relationship than it is just a straight financial investor.
Do you ever get to talk with Mark Cuban, or are you mostly just on the phone with his team usually?
I'm on the phone with this team almost daily, and then his primarily mode of communication is email. So we do once a week email exchanges.
So tell me a little bit about your company. It's Chapul, right?
Yeah, Chapul. It's an Aztec word for cricket, actually, and so we make an energy bar, and our primary source of protein in the bars is we take crickets and we dehydrate them and mill them down to a high protein powder, and then add that to an all-natural energy bar.
It seemed like some of the sharks on Shark Tank really liked it, and the other ones were kind of freaked out by the idea of eating crickets.
Yeah, they were all, pretty standard for our American culture that didn't necessarily grow up with it over the past couple hundred years. They were apprehensive at first, for sure, but kind of the more they learned about the thought behind it, and then when they tried it, they all agreed that it was a good tasting product, even though it took a little bit for some of them to try it.
So you don't get any cricket legs or anything when you're eating one of your bars?
No, that's one of our main motivations is to make it as easy as possible for people to try insects, which are extremely healthy and sustainable form of protein. So we're introducing it in a subtle way by milling it down to a really fine powder.
And it sounded like when you were on the show, Mark Cuban was really interested in that cricket powder. I think it's, do you have some kind of patent or some kind of thing that protects that powder that's kind of exclusive to you?
No, we don't. It's actually pretty challenging to file a patent on an ingredient. You can file a patent on a process to derive an ingredient, but kind of the standard in the food industry is just to keep kind of an industry secret. The best example being Coca-Cola's secret recipe, and so that's kind of the standard in the food industry. It's just to guard your recipes and your processes, but we don't have any IP on our process.
It sounds like you put a lot of thought into choosing crickets and going that direction with your energy bar. What was your thought process on choosing crickets as a source of protein for your energy bars?
It all derived from a long background in water resource planning, kind of long-term planning, where our communities are going to get our water from in the future, and how we're using it now, and trying to develop efficiencies in our agricultural system. So motivation for me was just to introduce insects as a very resource-efficient form of protein. And so my entire focus was figuring out how to do that in the most culturally acceptable manner. And so crickets was a logical step, both infrastructure-wise and kind of cultural perception. And then, milling them down to the flour, of course, takes away the visual component for those of us that didn't grow up with it, because the truth is, they're eaten by most countries around the world, and not just out of necessity. Some areas they're a delicacy because they are so high in nutrition and can be delicious.
So you Americanized it a little bit for us that aren't used to eating crickets.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice. Well, so you've got Chapul, and I remember on the show you were saying that you can grow, actually there's a high concentration of protein, and that you can actually grow more crickets per area than you can other types of protein. Tell me a little bit about the cricket growing process and cricket farms.
Yeah, it's extremely efficient as far as the resources that go into it versus the amount of protein that you get out. So you can grow them in an urban environment. You can raise them in bins, essentially, that mimic their natural environment, and you can grow those vertically, so you can kind of stack these bins, and then the feed to biomass ratio. So the amount of feed that they eat is much smaller compared to what their output is, compared to our traditional livestock here. So there's traditional farming methods in Southeast Asia and other parts of the world that are kind of mimicked here in the United States, and it's really rapidly growing technology. The United Nations is putting a lot of focus on insects as a way to feed the growing global population. So there's a lot of innovation right now in the cricket farming and insect farming in general.
Do you have a science background?
I do. I have a Master's of Science in Watershed Hydrology.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at University of Arizona.
Okay, and what brought you to Utah?
My girlfriend's family is from here originally, and so we actually just came for a winter. I had a consulting job for a winter, and we decided to get some ski passes, and then I just fell in love with the Wasatch Mountains and the community here.
Yeah.
I really couldn't think of a better place to start a company. It's been amazing how supportive the community, the entrepreneur community is here.
Yeah, Utah's great for small business. We've got a lot of ingenuity here, a lot of small business startups, and that's what the show is all about. It's about supporting the local Utah community. The theme of today's show is small business and supporting small businesses here in Utah, and that's what we're all about here. This is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show. We're here to help you save money, invest those savings, and make money on your investments. And we've got Pat Crowley here with Chapul, a local small business that's found an ingenious way to get a great source of protein and be able to feed the masses with it, basically. And I think it's just awesome that you were able to get a deal on Shark Tank and kind of get your word out there. So tell me, did the Shark Tank kind of blow up your business after you were on it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was huge. I mean, there's 8 million viewers to that show, and we just the exposure we got from the week after was enormous. But then just the amount of stores that expressed interest, and it's kind of funny. It added some sort of validity to our project and to our company. Just having that TV appearance, that was really helpful for our cause in general. We did a Utah Adventure and Gear Expo for tailored to Utah businesses last month, and just so many people came up to our booth having seen the show, and they were just like, "Oh, I gotta try this." Whereas before it was like we were doing everything we could to convince people to try it. So
yeah, where can people find your bars? Is it all online or is it in stores now?
No, it's in stores. Our website, the easiest way is you go to our website, chapul.com, Chapul, and we have a little buy locally link. So you just put your zip code in. But we're in natural, Good Earth Natural Foods, Liberty Heights Fresh Market, Caputo's Natural Foods, and just a handful of independents. Dave's Health and Nutrition. So just plug your zip code in and find the retail location closest to you.
So that's chapul.com, Chapul, and
yep,
you can
correct.
check out different locations. To be honest, I haven't tried one yet, but I'm going to after the show, so that I can check it out. But such a cool idea, and so great to learn a little bit more about it. This is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM. We're a local show. We're your local advocates for real estate, finance, and small business. And we have two excellent small business owners on the show today. Again, if you have any questions, if you want to learn more about small business or have any questions about your own startup, give us a call at 801-674-9995. We can tell you what we did. We started up a local small business here for real estate and finance. And we have other excellent resources to help you get off the ground and get your project going. We also have a new possible similar mini Shark Tank coming up called Venture Capital, where you can pitch different ideas for local small businesses and possibly get some funding that way. We've got to take a quick break. We have our free lunch giveaway coming up after the break, and we'll continue our conversation with Pat Crowley. Again, this is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM, Utah's Big Talker. Welcome back. This is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM, Utah's Big Talker. The theme of today's show is small business, local business here in Salt Lake City. Earlier on the show, we had Mike Law with Saturday's Waffle. He owns a local food truck here that serves different types of gourmet waffles, chicken and waffles, and then different desserts. And that's every Saturday over in Dan's parking lot off of 39th South and the 215. And right now we've got Pat Crowley with Chapul, who recently got a Shark Tank deal. He made a deal on the Shark Tank. If you haven't watched the show, he got some funding from the investor Mark Cuban for his business. It's his ingenious idea of using crickets and grinding that cricket down into a flour to make an energy bar out of it. So, Pat, do you have any other products besides your energy bars or anything in the works down the road for Chapul?
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of fun in our experimental kitchen working with. We've brought in different insects and different products, and we're excited to roll a couple of new things out. But our primary focus right now is to just increase our distribution. We're trying to get as many people to try the insects as possible and to incorporate them into their diet. And then once we have that distribution in place, then it'll be a lot easier to roll out our other products.
Yeah, walk me through the process. So do you rent space for these cricket farms, or is this space that you own and you manage and operate? And then how does it go from there?
So we actually purchased the crickets from an already established cricket farm. And there's about a dozen of them around the country. Unfortunately, there's none here in Utah yet, but there have been a couple people reaching out to us saying that they're interested in getting into the farming aspect, and we're very encouraging that as soon as they're available here in Utah, we'd like to purchase them from a local farm. But we have them shipped in, and then we just rent space at a local kitchen, and we go through the process of converting the cricket into the flour, and then that's our main source of protein. We just add it as one ingredient into an all-natural energy bar.
So you're in charge of getting the flour down and getting it ready to put into the energy bar.
Yep, exactly.
And that flour process is done here in Utah?
Yep, yeah. Yeah, it was a challenge at first finding a kitchen. I think there's a lack of kitchens in Utah, but just probably because there's so many food companies here, I think that'd be a great business to open a commissary kitchen to accommodate all the growing small food businesses here in Utah.
Yeah, like we said, Utah's a great market for small business. It's a low unemployment rate. I think the Utah government is really supportive of small business and keeping the tax rates level and really giving some support to local businesses. So how many employees do you have now?
We're up to 5 now.
Awesome.
Before the show, there was 2 of us, and so we more than doubled, and we're looking to hire a couple more pretty soon as well.
Again, this is Pat Crowley with Chapul, a local business owner. He has an ingenious way of getting a protein through an energy bar. The protein source is cricket powder. It's crickets from a cricket farm that's then ground up into a flour and put into an energy bar. Out of curiosity, what are some of the other insects that are good sources of protein that you might be investigating in the future, or is that a trade secret?
No, not necessarily. One that's hard because they're not grown at large scale, but can be very delicious are ants. There's some varieties of ants that taste like lemon drops. It's really surprising once you try them and the taste that you get out of them. So we'd love to incorporate them somehow, but for the time being, it's just the crickets.
So are you guys, can people order those all over the country, and then are you guys outside of the U.S. as well for your energy bar?
We are, yeah. So we also sell through our website, and we regularly ship all over the world, but we're also working with a couple of distributors in Europe, and then we ship to Australia as well. But yeah, we're on store shelves in 38 states now, and we're by the end of the summer, we're hoping to at least double that store presence. So we're doing everything we can to kind of grow at a sustainable rate for our company right now.
Yeah, you guys are doing awesome. I'm going to support you. I'm going to get the word out about Chapul energy bar made from crickets, recent Shark Tank deal. Again, Pat, it's so great to have you on the show. Thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Clint. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. We'll keep in touch and monitor your success, and keep our audience apprised on our Facebook page that how Chapul is doing, and keep you guys moving along.
Cool. That sounds great.
Again, this is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM. The theme of our show today is small business. We support small business, and we love our local businesses here. Again, that's Chapul.com. We've been talking with Pat Crowley, and you can go and get an energy bar on his website, and they're also here on the shelves in local stores here in Utah and across the country. We've got our free lunch giveaway right now. If you missed our show earlier today, we had Mike Law with Saturday's Waffle. He's a small business owner here in Utah, and he runs a food truck out on the east side of, it's on the 215 and 39th South in the Dan's parking lot. And we've been fortunate enough to get a free lunch from him for two. Some of the favorite Saturday waffles are the Benny, Lemon Curd and Raspberry, Bananas Foster, Mount Olympus, Urban Lumberjack, the Caprese, the S'more, the Naked Waffle. Come and see what all the fuss is about and meet the guys in bow ties as they serve up a delicious start to your weekend. You can catch them every Saturday, rain or shine, from 8 to 12 at the Olympus Hills Shopping Center. That's 39th South and Wasatch Boulevard. Happy Saturday from the guys in bow ties over at Saturday's Waffle. If you want that free lunch, give us a call at 801-674-9995 or text the words free lunch to 801-674-9995. We'll hook you up with that free lunch to Saturday's Waffle. Again, the theme of our show today is small business. If you're thinking about starting one up, or if you have some questions about your small business that you're currently running, we have guys that we can put you in touch with. You can set up a consult with me. I'm also a local small business owner. We'd love to discuss your ideas and talk about how to get your business going and up off the ground if you haven't started, or keep it going stronger if you do have something in the works. Feel free to call me anytime at 801-674-9995. I'm your local advocate for real estate and finance. I want to see you be successful. I want to help you save money, invest those savings, and make money on your investments. I do mortgages and real estate, and I help small business owners all the time with their mortgage and real estate needs. If you're looking to buy a house, sell a house, or refinance your current mortgage, we can help you with that. We're experts. We have years of experience in real estate and finance, and we'd love to help you make your dreams come true on these big, important financial transactions. We have 3 new listings on the market that we wanted to share with you today. One of the listings is that 4490 East Wyndham Court. That's in Immigration Place, and that's listed for $2.245 million. That's listed by Coldwell Banker and is only a couple weeks on the market. Another new listing that we've got is 7361 South Eastbourne Drive. That's listed for $429,900, listed by Influence Real Estate. And our last new showing for today is 742 East 18th Avenue. That's up in the Avenues area. That's listed for $750,000, listed by Remax Associates. If you'd like a private showing for any of these showings, give us a call at 801-674-9995. We can get you into any of those homes or any other home. We can custom fit your search and get you into the right home that's right for you and your family. Again, my name is Clint Womack. I'm the owner of Vintage Lending and Realty. We are a local small business here in Utah, and we are all about supporting the local businesses. I created this radio show as a forum to bring local businesses on the show, learn more about them, and put you in touch with professionals that can help you accomplish your goals and dreams. We're your local advocates for real estate and finance. This is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show on 860 AM, Utah's Big Talker. I wanted to talk a little bit about a zero-cost refinance. It's such a good idea for people that currently have a rate higher than 4.75. It's worth investigating to see, or even higher than 4.25. If your current rate's higher than 4.25, give us a call for a free analysis. Call us at 801-674-9995. Depending on your credit score, we can get you a zero-cost refinance. Do that with no closing costs, and we'll even refund the cost of your appraisal to help you save money each month and get in a better financial position. The reason a zero-cost refinance is so good is because if rates continue to drop in the future, you haven't invested a bunch of money in paying points and other closing costs, and then you can take advantage of lower rates in the future without having to worry about recovering any costs that you might have spent on a previous refinance. So again, give me a call anytime at 888-674-9995, and I'll do a free analysis, let you know if a zero-cost refinance makes sense for you, or maybe even shortening your term down to a 15 or a 10-year fixed. We can customize the term. So if you have 17 years left on your mortgage, we can refinance to a 17-year term so that you're not starting back over at 30 years or 20 or 25 years. So again, this is the Clint Womack Real Estate and Finance Show, your local advocates for real estate and finance. We've got a great show planned for you next week. We've got a radon specialist and also a local real estate photographer. Please visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/Womack Radio and tune in next week at 10 a.m. right here on 860 a.m., Utah's Big Topic.